Good morning. Welcome everyone. Just want to welcome Daniel to Perth. It's fantastic that he's agreed to play for Perth Glory. He's out of quarantine and he's looking forward to a season which gets underway this week in the A-League. So just open up for questions, and we have our owner, chairman here, Tony Sage as well, myself and Daniel.
Well, Daniel, did you get that haircut you were chasing? Have you had that yet?
I've managed to get one, yeah, you know, it was a long drawn out process, but we got there in the end. All jokes aside, it was fast, and yeah, I managed to get one.
How would you describe your time in quarantine? Can you explain that for us? What was it like that 2 weeks?
I mean, it's never easy. I'm sure everyone would agree. Being alone in quarantine for 2 weeks anyway is not the easiest thing to go through, but everyone's done it. I'm no different from anyone else, so you know I have to go through the same process that everybody else has to go through in Perth. So you know I went through it, trained as much as I could, slept as much as I could, and tried to adjust to the time zone, and feeling pretty good coming out of it.
And what's your first impressions of Perth? What have you noticed? What have you thought about it? Of Perth? What are your impressions of Perth?
I think it's beautiful. You know, I've been out and took a drive and went out for dinner, and it's been nice so far. I can't complain. I have no complaints at all. It's a beautiful place. Everyone seems nice, so you know I'm excited.
Dan, you mentioned trying to adjust, stay fit as well. How have you gone with that? Has it been a difficult process to try and get up to match fitness, knowing that there's a game coming this weekend?
What do you mean by? I mean, in quarantine, you mean?
Yeah, and even just now, how are you, I guess, in terms of your match fitness and your availability?
I mean, I'm available. You know, I've been training prior to coming here, and you know, tried my best in quarantine. Of course, it's difficult, you know, in quarantine to train, and you can't play football or do anything that is natural to a football player. So now it's about adjusting again and coming out of quarantine. I think laying on a bed and trying to train as much as you can on a bike or doing things inside is never the same as playing football. So it's about getting match fit now and being in football shape again. And 2 weeks is a long time to not play football, you know, for any player. So I'm sure with the training with the team, I'll be able to adjust this week, and then it's up to the manager to decide how much involvement I have this weekend. But I'm excited and ready to help the team.
There's the match fitness and getting out there and training. Also, then there's the game plan and trying to adjust to what Richard wants to, I guess, put out there on the park. How much of the game plan do you know, and how much have you been able to go into depth about it?
We've had meetings, and there's plenty of time during the week. I think every team, you know, throughout the week will do their game plan, so it's no different to anywhere else. So I don't think it's going to be difficult in terms of, you know, adjusting to how the team play, because we're going to be training together to try and achieve something. So I need to adjust quickly, as quick as I possibly can, and the team, the backroom staff will help me achieve that.
What is your role in the team? Is it as simple as just scoring goals?
I mean, again, that's, you know, for the manager to decide what my role is. I'm just here to work hard and to help the team win games.
Building connections also is an important part with your teammates. Anyone out there that you feel like you've kind of built a connection with already and quite quickly?
I've literally been with the team one day, and I didn't train with them. You know, I got out of quarantine, and the next day, I can't remember what time the team had already started training. I went for my medical, so they were off on Saturday. I was in, so this is the first day I'm going to be with the team, to be honest. So haven't had much time to train with anybody or build any relationships, or you know, I know Brad Jones very well from my time at Liverpool, but besides that, everyone's new to me, and I'm just getting to know my teammates on a personal level first, and I think that's the first step. And then of course getting onto the football pitch and just playing your natural game.
Brandon O'Neill said that you might be bringing your coffee in quarantine. Did he live up to his promise, and has he continued on with taking you out?
That's a negative. He didn't bring me any coffee, unfortunately. But I managed to get some good coffee in there, and I had my tea that I brought with me from England that I typically have. So you know, it was a good process for me. I don't expect him to have to do that.
In terms of how many minutes you can play this weekend, what would be a safe level for you?
I mean, I think that's again something for the manager to decide. That's not the player's job to decide how many minutes he plays. You know, that's the manager's job. So I just have to train hard, and then whatever decision he makes is fine with me.
And I guess physically not being able to run around in recent weeks, what's that been like, and how long does it take to really rebuild what you had built up before?
It takes time, of course. It's never a fast process with football. Of course, when there's games there, that's the thing that everybody aims to be involved in. As a football player, you want to play games. But you know, in regards to me saying how long is it going to take, it's just about taking it day by day and not putting any time frames or time limits on how long it's going to take or how quickly I need to be right. You know, we know there's games there, and we know that that's the most important thing for the team to achieve. We have to win games. So, you know, it's about whenever the manager feels I'm ready to perform, that's when I'll be involved.
And it's been such a long time since you played a professional match. What are the nerves like and the other emotions that you're feeling right now?
I don't feel nervous at all. I've been doing this my whole life, so to be honest, it's more excitement than anything else. Like I said, I've played this game since I was 4 years old, maybe. So I'm 32 now, so we're talking 28 years of doing something that you love. And I don't see this as work. I see this as my life. This is what I love doing. This is what I'm passionate about. This is everything I've dreamt of doing and everything I live for. So for me, it's just a privilege and an honour to be able to perform, you know, on a football pitch and represent Perth Glory.
What's it like being a striker and going more than a year and a half without scoring a goal and hearing the crowd and just feeling that sensation that you love so much?
You know, well, I think a lot of players have felt that for over a year for themselves because they had no fans anyway. So, to be honest, I feel like it's going to be a great feeling, of course, when that time comes. But I'm not putting any pressure on myself to score goals or get assists. It's just about being out there and being present, and those things will happen naturally. So for me, it's just about helping the team be successful and pushing myself to my limits.
You've got one game at home and then looking at potentially quite a long stint away in terms of we don't really know when the state's going to open up. Has the club prepared you for that, and how do you feel about the prospect of being away, you know, a lot of flights, a lot of different beds, those sorts of things for a fair chunk at the start of the season?
I think it's not easy, and I'm sure everyone's aware of that, but as a team we'll be prepared. You know, I think everybody knew about this for a while now, so you know, the team, everybody is prepared for what's to come. We know what the task is at hand for us, and we're excited about it. I think, of course, it's difficult being away from families and stuff like that, and it's never easy for any player. I don't think anyone would say they'd want to be away for 4 weeks, but this is the card we've been dealt. That, you know, the card we've been dealt, the hands we've been dealt, and we have to deal with it and try and be successful on the road.
Tony, how difficult is it for you? One came at home, then I think might be 9 away. I mean, in terms of having a realistic chance to win the premiership, the championship.
Oh, look, it will be difficult, but as Daniel said, and as Richie's always put to the players, it's a challenge. And last year, I think we went through a similar, and we came back and we had a fantastic end of the season, winning 5 out of 7 or 8, I think it was. So the players are up for it. They're used to it. It is what it is. The other owners are very sympathetic. Believe it or not, we got permission for 2 reverse fixtures. So on the 2nd and 8th, the owners of the other teams will give us home games in January, early January, if the borders allow. So that's a really good concession that those 2 owners have given us as a club. So we just hope that the government now realises the importance of sport, as Premier McGowan said the other day, allowing the Ashes. So if that's a possibility, that will happen, and we'll end up having 5 away, 4 at home by the 15th of January, which is really good.
How are ticket sales going, Tony?
Yeah, no, look, very good. tickets. So we'll have to probably open up more today. We had a great weekend, and with the lead in this week, we're hoping to get close to filling the park, and that's our aim. It's our only game for this calendar year, for this sort of the next few weeks. So I think the fans are getting on board. They want to come and see Daniel as well, and the team, and give him a sort of a good send off. And we're excited about the potential of a great capacity on Saturday night.
There's been a bit of talk amongst the fans. $44 is the total cost when you buy general admin and the handling costs and all that. Is it too much? Is there anything the club can do to try to make it more affordable?
Yeah, buy membership. If you do buy membership, it comes down to about $27, which is quite reasonable. There's a lot of costs associated. You've got Ticketmaster costs on top of the sort of prices, etc. But if you do buy a membership, it really reduces the rate. And we've got 3 games, 5 games, so there's a range of memberships options for fans to get out there and buy tickets at a good cost.
Tony, just in terms of those reverse fixtures you're talking about, in your mind, how does that work in terms of when teams come over here, what that means?
Well, we're working on a protocol. The protocol would be they get tested, they leave their state plane straight to a hotel, not allowed to go out, just like the AFL teams, but usually, in our case, it'll be just a night, straight to the ground, straight back either to the airport or back to the hotel. So that's the protocol we put forward. It's being reviewed by the WA Health, and like I said, hopefully that happens, because it wasn't easy convincing the owner of Sydney FC and Western Sydney to give up home games early January, but they see our plight, and we're a very good unified group of owners, so that's a good concession on their part if it can happen.
And when you say they give up home games, will they get
reverse? Yeah, they'll get the reverse. So we play them later on in the season at home, but it's just a straight reverse swap.
And in your talks with the government, are they pretty open?
Tony's been dealing with that.
Yeah, they are. So it's not only us; it's all sports. So you've got the basketball, Perth Wildcats, the Big Bash as well. So all sports have really banded together to, talk to WA Health about allowing teams to basically fly in, fly out. The games will be in a quarantine environment at the stadium as well. So, fingers crossed we'll get a positive announcement by the end of this week, hopefully.
And in terms of membership numbers, I think a few weeks ago it was around 6,000. Where is it at now?
It's just hard at the moment because of the away games. So a lot of members are just holding off. We're hoping that we can, get these games at home and memberships keep increasing.
Daniel, just quickly, Adelaide United, have you had a chance to take a look at them for round 1, or is it more a focus on yourself as an individual player?
I think in the lead up to the game, we'll have a look at them and as a team and make a game plan for being successful. I think that's kind of par for the course in terms of preparing for particular opposition. So I don't know which day the team do the videos for opposition, but whenever that is when we'll do it.
Daniel, will you be being very conservative in the first couple of weeks with your body? I guess the key now is to stay fit for the entire season. If you've been in a hotel room, it's probably not the greatest preparation. Are you cognizant of that? Are you aware of, I've got to be a bit careful that I don't want to break down early on?
Look, as I said, it's down to the coaching staff and the managers to, decide how we manage the load and we manage the training and we manage the games. That's, their job. I think for me, obviously, I'm present and I'm going to put everything I can into being ready for every single game. I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Are you saying you want to play the whole game straight up, or what's your preference?
I'm saying that I want to be ready to help my team win games. So whenever that is, and however many minutes that is what I'm happy with.
Then number 15, you've always worn it. What's the relevance of that?
I don't want to get into the specifics. It's personal information, but it means a lot to me.